Hi, if you're a foreign trained dentist who's applying to University of Colorado's advanced standing program and you're trying to figure out how to fill in the supplemental application for University of Colorado in a good way, well, this is the right video for you. If you don't know who am I, my name is Adriel William. I'm a University of Colorado's graduate from year 2022, and when I applied to my first cycle in 2019, I got accepted to 4 schools: USC, UCLA, Colorado, and NYU. And since then, I've been helping candidates through this process, coaching them, mentoring them in interview, writing purposes, personal statement, and all of these different tasks. This time right now, I've already made several videos on University of Colorado, how to prepare your personal statement and all of that, and I'll put those in the link in the description. But now today I'm going to focus on the supplemental application. And one of the things I'll tell you is that they have a couple of different questions. Number one, they usually ask you that what kind of skills would you need or you would need to improve in order to become a successful candidate in the advanced standing program. Now, one thing I'll tell you, for any supplemental questions for any school in the CAAPID or outside of CAAPID, whenever you're writing, remember, brevity is the key. Being brief is the key. By brief, I mean you want to tell your story, you want to write your answer, but you want to be brief with your words. That's a sign of intelligence. If you keep dragging and repeating the same stuff, you're wasting their time and your own time, and it is a sign of insult when you waste somebody's time in US in a professional manner. So remember, being brief and straight to the point is very important. And when they ask you questions like, what can you improve in yourself to be successful? Well, what they're trying to see is your self-awareness about your own personality, about your own skill, and what you will do when you are asked such questions. So all schools, especially Colorado, they like people who are self-critical. Now, when you're being self-critical, you don't want to become so critical and say, I'm not good at speaking, I'm shy, I'm not good at endo, I'm not good at class 2s, and I don't think I would be, it would take me a very long time to survive or to be successful. Then you just look very underconfident and immature, right? So the key up here is that you want to be self-aware, you want to talk about your weakness. It could be regarding learning the patient management and communication in a dental environment in US. It can be regarding learning Axiom or HIPAA related policies, or learning how to be in a more diverse environment. Well, don't use all the answers I'm saying, because there are going to be about 500-600 people watching this and everybody going to start writing the same thing. So don't do that. Take this as a template, as a sample. What I'm saying is, find something particular and say, over the past years, I've learned that this is one area which I need to improve, which I need to grow at, and I'm continuously working. And hopefully, if I get a chance at University of Colorado, I will continue to work on these skills through your mentorship or through guidance, and hopefully become a successful dentist in the US, or successful dentist or its dental student at your prestigious institute. Well, this is one way to put it up. Again, you can write this in different ways. Second thing is, if they give you 500 word limits, that doesn't mean you have to write 500 words. That means you can write it in 200, you can write it in 250, you can write it in 300. You don't have to go all the way like that. So be very cautious about that part. Now, they also ask you questions like, can you tell us in the previous bench exam or interview skill, or interview if you did it last year, what have you improved, or what were the issues that you saw last year? Now, again, this is a question where they are trying to see if you are a self-aware person. One thing I'll tell you about Colorado's bench exam, being a student up there, it wasn't that I made a mistake or I did everything right. The main thing they were trying to see is how much self-aware are you in what you're doing. If you did a mistake and you write it down and you pointed on it and you mention how you can fix it, they like it. So now when they are asking you, since the last year, where do you think you lack? So if you actually felt your bench exam prep wasn't so good, well, be honest and say that I've taken a course, I've been I took a course, I've been preparing at home class 2s and learning about cron preps to improve my psychomotor skills. Or if your interview prep wasn't good enough, you can also mention over the past year I've been trying to improve my communication through working at different dental practices, going for a preceptorship. I've been trying to communicate and use or learn the acumens that are used in a dental environment, in a professional setting or in an academic setting. And hopefully I will continue to work on it as I move forward in my life. So again, you want to tell about your weakness, but you also want to talk what you've been doing to improve it. And do not be so much critical on yourself that you start to look like a victim. Nobody likes that. The next question they ask you, if you have a gap year in your application, tell us about that. And I know there are a lot of females who are mothers. There are a lot of people who went through gap year due to migration or family issues, which is totally fine. And be honest, but very straightforward and professional in your wording. You can mention that when I moved to United States or moving up here in 2015 to 2017, I had my first baby and I had to deal with some medical issues or personal issues or family responsibility. And during that time, I was unable to do any professional work, but I continue to take online CE courses or volunteer and shadow and just improve and learn from there. So you can make it more precise. You can tell that you had a gap year, but focus on the reason and then what were you doing during that time to overcome it. All right. The next thing is, but having a gap year is not a bad thing, just to let you know, especially all the females, all the mothers, this is very common. Don't think that you have done anything wrong. Okay. That's one thing. The next thing that they would like to ask is, do you know any alumni? Well, if you're watching this video and you think you're going to put my name and that's going to make you look good, don't do it. Don't do it, because a lot of people watch these videos and they're like, oh, we know Adriel, we're going to write his name. Well, not to go into too much detail, I wouldn't do that, just to let you know. The next part is they ask you, have you applied? Next, if you know any other person who's applying, well, if you have a friend or somebody close or a colleague or a classmate who's applying, you can write their name. Now, these are the most of the questions. Couple of things I'll come back to. The do's and don'ts is make sure that you try to be brief. Second thing is, do not repeat things that you've already mentioned in CAAPID or personal statement. Number 3 is, try to use the same kind of tone and language that you have in personal statement. You don't want to have like one of your English is like very poor or very simple and very straightforward, and now all of a sudden Shakespeare wrote it. So you want to try to create some kind of resemblance between your writing, not to look too much, have too much discrepancy. The next thing I'll tell you is that you want to show your self-awareness. You want to tell that, yes, I have a weakness or I need to improve something, but you don't want to make yourself a victim of things. So talk about your weak side, but talk about how you've been trying to improve themselves. And beside this, if you need help, you can reach out to me. I do help people with supplemental application, personal statement. I have a fellowship program. So in that fellowship program, what I do is I help candidates, whether writing their personal statement, whether helping them with email, choosing school, resume, interview prep, supplemental application, Casper, MMI. I help them throughout the whole application except for bench exam. And if you've given your TOEFL, you have good score, you can reach out to me if you're interested to be part of this fellowship, or you just need individual help with one of the writing tasks. You can reach out to me, and hopefully I'll see you in a more meaningful video in the future. Thank you.